haven't quite got the budget to get Slash in yet, so you're gonna have to make do with me. My name's Splash. I'm like Slash. I'm just a little bit more moist. Sorry about that. What would Slash sound like if he played PRS? The answer is pretty obvious. He'd sound fucking brilliant, like he always does. He'd sound good if he was playing a banjo plugged into a cow's arse. That's how good that man is. And whatever guitar you put in front of him, I'm sure he'd sound unmistakably like himself. And you'd know. I mean, the cow, I imagine, wouldn't be best pleased. Jack leads are small and thin. It's going to hurt. Insightful. My favourite lick, or run, you could say, in this solo, is this descending one in the middle. Now, it's not the most difficult thing in the solo, I don't think, but it definitely put me through the ringer trying to figure out what was going on. And this is what I settled on. So for a little bit of musical context, the chords that are going on behind the solo, power chords, you've got D5, C5, and then you can just drop that root note to a B, so it's like a C5 but with a B in the bass. A Slash chord in a Slash song, and then back to the D. If we weren't just playing power chords, and I was to fully extend that chord harmony, we'd have a D major and a C major. Tone apart, back to back. Slash is telling us that D is home. So I thought he's probably starting out the solo in D Mixolydian. And he is. Now, if you've shat the bed over that word, Mixolydian, click this link up here. There's a music theory playlist, and there is some stuff on understanding modes, intervals, different scales, things like that. And it'll help you keep your bed clean. Now, if he is starting out in first position of D Mixolydian, then this run that we're going to be doing would be second position. If you're thinking about tessellating jigsaw pieces of scales on the fretboard, you'll probably know this scale shape though as E natural minor. Just remember, it's exactly the same notes. We're just playing them from two different fixed points, and we're in drop D, which is why I kind of slunk off down the neck. I wasn't showing off. I just couldn't be asked shifting up 2 frets. This run. .15th fret of the high E, whole tone bend. Let it down, a little back and forth between the 15 and the 14. Semitone bend. Then we have this run. And when you break it down like that, you can really hear the repetition and the pattern. And this kind of phrase or lick is very typical of Slash. You hear it a lot in November Rain. It kind of lingers on that first note of the phrase and then has a very fast hammer and pull off. That kind of thing should sound familiar to you. Anyway, carrying on from there, there's a little passing flat 5 in relation to D. So that's the 13th fret of the G string. And he makes his way up to the 14 and then the 12 on the B. And then I like to go 14, 12 on the G pull off and a quick slide back to the 10 before hitting the root. After you've hit that root, I want you to flat bar the 3rd finger, 12 on the G, back to the root, 10 on the G. And then we've got the infamous Slash lick. That's probably his most popular go-to when he wants to rip. Lifted straight out of Sweet Child of Mine. I was going to say like Sean Connery then, by accident lifted straight out of Sweet Child of Mine, but I think about a stroke. Sorry about that. It's tricky slow. In the track, I think we're at about 141 BPM. It's a proper ripper. Now, I mentioned before, whilst that might be my favourite run, it's not actually the most difficult thing to do in the solo. That go-to slash lick we've just learned comes back in a second, and it's just ridiculously fast. Way faster than it's played in Sweet Child of Mine. And remember, we're in standard tuning, which is rare for slash, so you've got a little bit more string tension than you normally would have, and it makes a difference. If you're doing something that repetitive with bend after bend after bend, you're going to feel it. And then it just exits with a big whole tone bend on the high E. Ridiculously fast. It's one of them licks that you're just gonna have to play over and over and over again until the rhythm bakes in. And also, the faster you go, you don't want that rhythm to disappear. We talked about a similar thing in the middle of the Stairway to Heaven solo, that rhythm. You don't want that to vanish as you get faster and end up with a mush like that. It's the same with this kind of lick. You don't want it to go from it loses its you want to keep that snappy rhythm throughout. It's like my 6th decaf coffee today. I can't have caffeine. Can you imagine me on caffeine? It's disgusting. Palpitations, eye twitches, and Gab says she can actually hear my brain while she's trying to go to sleep, just talking. We can't be having that. If you want the tab for the whole track, including all the parts, not just the solo, you can get them on Patreon. I'm also going to put a full in-depth lesson for the solo on there as well. And there'll be some backing tracks and other stuff, guitar profiles, PDFs, whatever you need. You can grab that over there. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, the bell next to it, and drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, something else you'd like to see me tackle. All those things really do help support the channel. They do wonders for me analytics. Anyway, it's good to be back. Hope you had a good break. Catch you in the next one.